Some places as a photographer are pretty darn special. They stay in the memory and they play on your mind, and eventually you've just got to go back and try and see if you can make it even better than last time.
Hello and welcome to Branyai Brycheiniog. I am back at Blindy Glyn where I was just before autumn last year. I'm here to scout out because tomorrow I'm going to be coming here to meet somebody and give them a little bit of tuition in how the heck to photograph waterfalls. Problem is, the water looks really low, so might have to get a little bit creative. We are expecting some rain overnight and possibly actually for the morning tomorrow, so maybe they'll start to fill up a little bit, who knows.
This Smalley waterfall area is about an hour away from the main waterfalls that are far larger and perhaps more popular to photograph in the national park. I visited in 2024 just before the height of autumn, and although I'm quite happy with a number of these shots, I confess I learnt a blimmin' big lesson. Be authentic, don't lose you in your photography. Now when you're surrounded by so many gorgeous images online, that can be difficult, particularly if you're in a brand new location and you don't know your way around. Careful welcome, you're a clumsy old mare at the best of times.
There is definitely a delicate balance between having too much water and not enough water in a waterfall. This area, or say an hour's radius from here, has the Eladir Falls, the full waterfall trail, and this, which is more intimate and therefore I think is rather special. When I came here just before last autumn, there was some lovely amounts of water for the lower waterfalls. The really impressive one, well, there was barely a trickle. And so I took a rather poor photo. One of those moments where you just go, I can see the potential, but it ain't happening today. Now it is all well and good me scouting out tonight, and this is my favourite of the waterfalls. But if we do have a lot of rain, tomorrow it could be a very, very different picture and rather soggy. It's definitely lower than last time, and I was able to go right away across and shoot from the other side with that little bit there as a really dramatic foreground. I'm going to see if there's any other options this time round.
With this water level, I was going to have to get down very low and try and emphasise anything in the foreground, make it look a bit more dramatic. I also couldn't assume that the person that was learning from me would be happy doing stuff
like that as a foreground
that I might do. You can't take risks with other people's kit or their bodies.
This, down here, is a cracking little foreground. I love it. What I don't love is a big old branch that's looping around and interfering with the waterfall up above. If it had foliage on, that would be a different matter. But at the moment it's just a stick and nothing more. So I might have to go back over and perhaps further down. Here goes.
Well, I'm a fussy old mare at the best of times, and I wear a stick's not exactly a big issue. I confess I did remove a bit of it. I'll show you for comparison. After all, it did irritate the living daylights out of me. So a very careful walk later, and I'm on the other side trying to pick out a foreground, something that might tickle the eye's fancy, so to speak. My mission with this was to drag the eye through the scene, using that white water with anchor points in the back and that pink boulder in the foreground. I have only one usable shot of this. All the others I managed to chop that middle waterfall off in its prime. And talking of that middle waterfall, I am like a moth to a flame. I just need to come back when it's got some more foliage.
This is my favourite waterfall, and what I would do when I'm on my own is different to if I'm passing on knowledge. You see, the thing is, if I'm passing on my skills to somebody else, that's what I need to focus on, the skills, allowing them to see compositions, to understand the scene, and to interpret it creatively how they wish to. What I'm not there to do is to risk their life and limb and have a smash camera, because that's just rubbish.
This is the next waterfall up, and I confess I have enormous problems with it.
I've got a 3-stop on here. I'm at ISO 800, a third of a second f11. I'm doing a third of a second and a quarter of a second. It just seems to be working properly. Getting down low means that I can see it right up through. When I was here last time, it was so ferocious here, I couldn't even begin to get to this ledge, and that's where I need to be.
I can't sugarcoat it. I could not make this location work. My client though, he did. I'll show you later.
The reason why I chose this place to bring him to, even though it's a long way from home, is because actually, one, I get to hone my tuition skills, but two, there's enough of a difference in the waterfalls, and they've got different personalities, that I can actually demonstrate anything that I need to do. Within the space of about 150, 200 metres, we've had 1, 2, 3 waterfalls coming towards us, third I'll show you in a second, and one going away, and that's really quite helpful. The enormous one is going to be a streak of nothingness, I believe. However, I'll work that out tomorrow. I got a rather lovely little shot here last time, and we had the ferns in the foreground, which we don't have this time. But what I can demonstrate with this is a really long swirly foreground, and perhaps how to think about blending that with a shorter exposure. It's just an adaptable little place.
In order to create my shot, I used the long exposure as my base photo, and then brushed through the texture for my shorter exposure. It did not work the other way round. The colours in the foreground were just mismatching.
Could even get a mid-height one here. Yeah, have to explore tomorrow.
My beloved beckoned me over to this lovely waterfall with a nice little rocky foreground. Well, I got this. It's a 5-shot focus stack because I was so close to those foreground rocks.
I think I've got enough options in these waterfalls that I've seen so far, and anything else further up to what's probably the main event, well, that's an added bonus. I am a tad disappointed there aren't any bluebells or much foliage out and about, but hey, I'm quite a bit further north than where I live, so I don't know really why I'm surprised. So anyway, here's to tomorrow.
I confess I was a tad excited to be meeting Steve. I learned so much from when I go shoot with other photographers, just seeing the world through their eyes, particularly for one that's a little bit more familiar to me than it would be to him. What I found really interesting was to see what he loved, what he really flourished at. And he did flourish. Areas that I didn't really take to, well, he seemed to. And I'm going to be sharing his images at the end of this video, not mine. Even on a dull day, the most useful accessory in our bags was a polarizer, allowing us to cut through that glare and see beyond the surface. Oh yes, and a sturdy tripod. There is absolutely no doubt allowing yourself more than just a fleeting visit to explore a location pays huge dividends. And in fact, whilst this video goes out, I should be thigh-high in the Welsh Sea, photographing an iconic location which I'm really excited to share with you in 2 weeks' time, provided my scouting goes well. Now, back to Wales and over to Steve's images. He told me that he had little experience in photographing waterfalls. Well, he's got the eye. What I found really interesting was how differently we approach a scene and how we edit. On location, I could not be inspired by this scene, but I like how Steve's done it. And this scene he really didn't take to, but after a bit of a chat with me, he's given it a go and I think he's come up with a banger. I'd love to know which of Steve's images have spoken to you and why. Also, I'd really like to know whether or not you feel at a very distinct disadvantage if you haven't scouted, or is it just me?
Well, thank you for joining me today at a very early spring like Blynie Glynn. This is a place that I suspect I will come back to on several occasions, hopefully throughout the seasons. Wherever I am next time, I look forward to taking you with me. In the meantime, have a cracking week. Goodbye.
Ooh, I'm dead excited about next time's video. I just hope I don't mess it up. A good scout should sort that out.